Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another great episode with my fabulous partner, Brandon, on milk,
eggs,
and a whole lot of
tea.
Where's your teacup?
Here's my. Oh my gosh, I'm not even ready for our opening.
Oh my gosh, the people I work
Should
with.
we do
oh
it
my
again?
gosh. Yes, ready?
Okay.
Welcome back to another great episode of Milk
Eggs
and a Whole Lot of Tea.
Tea.
That was a little bit introductive. That was all right. We'll keep that in there.
We'll keep. People know this. Know us by now.
They do know us by now.
We're on our last episode of this season.
Can you believe it?
Oh, no, I can't believe it. But oh my
gosh.
God, we have been filming for a long time, but it feels so nice to just
to say that we made it to episode 10.
Season
Season
1. Cheers. Yes.
Us and our teacups.
Yeah.
You came a mighty long way.
You have. Hey, a great purchase, by the way. And they've seen a lot of different bubbles.
Yes.
Drinks.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had water in here. No, I don't even think
No, we don't do water.
Yeah, we've never had water in here.
But we always have something in the cup.
Yeah, always have something in the cup.
Always have something in the cup.
Okay, so what are we closing this season out with today? What are we going to be talking about?
I thought this season can be like an unpacking season. You know how they have like unpacking parties?
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be unpacking season. We're going to talk about the funds of podcasting. And then, I always have to get some relationship tips from you because you've been in a relationship for a minute.
It's been a minute.
So I need to get my tips and tricks from you.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to keep my drink.
And so we can just start with that, the gist of it.
Okay. So where do you want to start?
All right. So starting off with this season, how have you felt? Because this is a new adventure for both of us, doing a podcasting. And podcasting can be, for myself in particular, it looks good when you see like the production of it like on YouTube, but actually doing the work, it can be challenging. Not challenging, but can...
It can.
Yeah.
It can be challenging. I mean, it's a lot of planning that we had to do. Which is good, so we don't get in here and just go rogue. But yeah, a lot of conversations, a lot of our guests this season that we had, we had, planning with them, making sure their time was, we were being considerate of them and all that. So yeah, I mean, challenging is a good word to, I'd say that.
Yeah. I want to ask you which episode was the best, but we can't choose between our children.
We cannot be choosing between our children. I think every episode had a special place in my little heart.
Yeah.
Okay. It was like every little chunk. Because it was fun. It was fun doing this with you. Like from the very beginning when you came and asked me, I was like, oh my God, what is this going to look like?
What is it going to look like?
What are we going to be doing?
Yeah.
And then now we're here and I mean, we're doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
We've done the damn thing.
We've done it.
Yes.
We've done it. All right. So let's talk about, I think all of our guests were amazing. Chef Keisha, she's my Mrs. Doubtfire because, I'm trying to be outside and get my man.
Yeah.
So she will be my Miss Doubtfire for that.
Yeah.
Meg spilled some great gems on basic valueship, starting up entrepreneurship. I learned a lot by her. Now, our girl Ari.
You're making me hot again just thinking about it.
That was like...
And that was just concluded. We just concluded episode 9 last week.
Yes.
So it was a lot.
That's the most
recent. Good.
That was a lot. You were like sweating up in there.
I was. Sometimes you were. Once we were talking about that choke slam and stuff, you were just everywhere in that room.
It was the choke slam part. And then I'm like, oh shoot. My mom gonna watch this.
Okay. Sorry, Mama.
Sorry, Rosina. I said your whole government name. But she's gonna be like, girl,
what is happening with you?
What you talking about? But then she's gonna say, I may be old, but I'm not dead. What does that even mean?
That means that she still likes to do her stuff.
I'm gonna mind my business.
Mama, I'm just minding my business too.
Mind your business. All right. So what was some of your takeaways from each podcast? Or each episode. Yeah, excuse me.
Wait,
how did it feel to invite Meg on? Because you and Meg were, you are friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your reasonings?
Yeah, it felt great because she is somebody who has been a mentor of mine since we started working with each other. I think back in, she said 2016 or something, which was so crazy. it was just great. It was a good feeling having somebody in the room that I knew that I was comfortable with. You know, she was very open with us about a lot of what she went through, her journeys, all that. So like, it's great. And I mean, we had dinner the other day together, or not dinner, lunch. Excuse me. But yeah, it felt great. Yeah, I would love for her to come back.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How would you feel about? What did you feel? How did you feel about Keisha and having her on?
I love Keisha. When I first met her, I'm telling y'all, she came to my house and she had on this beautiful hat. And I was like, who is this beautiful creature? And it was her. But I loved her. I learned a lot about her, like talking about like her journey of becoming a chef. Her dad, knockout wings. Yeah, she talked about that part, like entrepreneurship. But I think she gave people hope on like what does this look like? Like, what can that dream look like?
Yeah.
And I think like she's doing a gosh darn thing. I got a new business or a venture off to a new company, change name. But yeah, I really do.
As you were talking, I'm sorry, I noticed a theme with all three of our guests this season. All three of them are CEOs themselves.
Absolutely.
They own their own businesses. Weird, because I didn't even think about that until now. Like, I had no connection. Yeah,
they are.
They all three are independent, just badass women.
Yeah.
That we had that grace the stage, grace the presence of this podcast.
Grace the presence of our itty bitty podcast. But yeah, even with Ari, because Ari mentioned that she was, she started off with sex coach, her licensure in Dallas, Texas. Yeah. And like growing like her business, her community. And I think like talking about sex can be kind of like
daunting. Yeah.
In my face.
You can.
So yeah, but Ari a badass too.
Yeah.
She's real cool.
I agree with all of them. Okay, so I think we love our guests, of course, and thank you all for our three guests that came on. So what were some key takeaways or things you liked of the episodes where it was just you and I?
The episode when we were doing random conversations, I think we had a little bit too much to drink that day. Because it was early in the day, and I think the Prosecco can I had was 15%. And I think we were just kind of like, let's just talk about random stuff today. And I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yes.
And I got to explore like my zombie apocalypse plan with you.
Y'all.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
That and Survivor. Zombie apocalypses and Survivor. Just, I mean, if you need to survive anything, go to Allegra.
I will get. Hey. Now, if you get on my nerves, I'm be like, what is Beyonce saying her song? I'm colder than Titanic water.
No, so that means you would open your door, push them outside, and let the zombies come and get them.
Get them.
You had to hold the mic.
Get them.
Get them.
Yes.
Oh my
Absolutely.
God. Okay, so yours was so the zombie. Yeah, that was a great, a fun day. We did actually. I think we went to lunch that day too. Well, we had to because that's how we drank a lot, and then we went in the studio
and just say we're here. Yeah. So where do you want us to
be? I'm sorry, roll the cameras. What are we doing?
Okay, we got it. Something in my cup. Don't worry about that.
Mind your business.
Mind your business.
Oh my God.
What was yours? Thinking back.
Goodness. It might sound cliche, but I really enjoyed our first episode. And I know it was like, just us like getting we were very new. We're like like kind of nervous a little bit. I remember like your feedback was speak up a little bit. Mine was like, Brandon, calm down a little bit.
Hi, I'm Brandon.
I was like, but now and now here, I mean, we're just we have a groove, let's just say that like we've established, and we're very comfortable with each other.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I think the very first episode was one of my favorites because it was just something that like we were kind of deer in headlights, but we figured it out and we made it work.
We did. That was a good one. Cheers.
It was.
That was a fun one too.
That one was. Okay, so let's talk about. Let me. I'm trying to get the right words out. So, okay, so people out there who might want to do a podcast one day, or, be behind the or in front of the camera, what pieces of advices would you give? Advices? I don't know if that's a word, but anyways, we're going to roll with it.
I got what you're catching.
Cool. What would you give to people of starting a podcast?
Yes. I think when I had this first initial idea, I asked questions, and I went to my friend who already had a podcast. And I asked her all types of questions. And I think of knowing, like, when it comes to, like, I don't know, like, there's space for everyone. And, every podcast has their own niche. You just got to know, like, what works well. But, like, don't be afraid to ask the questions, make mistakes, do your research, and figure out. Everyone has something to say. Everyone has a testimony. Yeah. So I just, like, when in doubt, just go for it. And don't be afraid to ask questions.
I love that.
I always slide in someone's DM about a question.
Yeah, and you do.
I mean, I do. I've reached out to you real quick. I'm like, let me just email them.
But that's what's so good about you, is because you're like, I'm not afraid to. I don't care if you're President Barack Obama. I'm gonna ask you.
I want to know what to do. Yeah. But it's real. One of my old bosses told me, answer is always no until you ask.
That's very true.
So don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's a good piece of advice.
I had a lot of jobs since I was 10. So I had a lot of great people.
Yeah, you have.
I have. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. How about you? What advice would you give?
Kind of similar, but don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to, just, it takes a lot of work. It does.
It does.
It takes work. And it takes just finding your comfortability as well in that aspect of, like, what, I don't know, like, what am I comfortable talking about where everyone's going to see versus, like, what's a comfortable studio versus, something that's just kind of home thrown together. Like, it's those aspects where, podcasting, it does take money and it does take time, but it's something that's rewarding because, one, you get to spend time with your best friend. Thanks. But two, it's just fun because we had so many fun guests and things like that. Yeah. But I'd also say, too, just a kind of two-parter is invite somebody on your podcast.
Yes.
And talk to them, because it gave us, at least for me, it gave us a sense of fresh air where it was just not 10 episodes of you and I just It was, we had someone in the room with us, being there and stuff. So I'm not saying that this is great.
I am not taking any of it. But I agree with you, because I think the people we brought on, we wanted to learn something, but they had a message that we know that not only resonated with us, but can resonate with so many people.
Yep. I agree with you. Okay.
I really like that.
What is one thing you would change from your experience of this season?
I would definitely change.
Shed some tea.
I would definitely take your time and not to rush and do studio tours, because it's evident, like, we bounce from studio to studio. I think finding a good fit that works for you and, like, asking those questions, like, hey, can we come do a studio tour? Let's just, like, meet the people who'll be working with, see the lights. Because if you ain't got no lights, we're going to be like, hold up.
If it's dark in that room, we ain't going in.
I'm like, no. But then also know what works in your budget, and don't feel pressure to pay something that you're not comfortable paying.
Say that again, boo.
So, like, find something that works within your budget and your comfort zone, and you want to have a supportive team. So that's the thing I would change. It's like, take your time finding a studio that works for you and the people you surround yourself with.
Yep.
Because it's new.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree. Okay.
Will do.
That's good. Okay. So, what piece of relationship advice or a question did you have before we start closing our last episode up?
Oh my gosh, our last episode. Okay. So I feel like I'm not in the boat by myself. And being outside, like I always say, I'm outside. Single, but also I think knowing, like, for me in particular, I'm trying to figure out, like, what type of person I am will I be dating? What are my red flags? I mean, like, what are the red flags that I'll look for someone else? I don't have red flags. I'm perfect.
Y'all,
I'm perfect.
Don't let her fool you like that. Do not let her fool you.
Not at all. So my thing is when it came to you, because I'm always trying to pick your brand in regards to dating. I'm like, Brandon,
you're so sweet.
what about this?
I mean,
Brandon.
And I don't have it perfect by any means, but I
Sometimes
appreciate
we need a
it.
guy perspective.
Yeah.
Although we're not dating the same. No, we're in the dating same pool.
No, baby. I date men that like men. You date men that like women.
Say that again.
So
we're not.
We are not in the same dating pool. I mean, although some guys go teeter-totter.
No,
so.
Stay over there.
You stay on that side of the fence or you stay on this side of the fence?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At least for Allegra.
Absolutely. Boy, you have me hot up in here. So my questions to you, Brandon, is when you what advice would you give a girl like me when it goes into starting off into like the dating world?
A girl like you starting into the dating world. I'm saying this. I don't take my own advice, but I'm saying this from advice.
Okay.
Well, I've been in a relationship now 5+ years, so yes, I've taken my advice now.
We know.
But I meant before I didn't take my own advice. But what I would say is be patient. Be patient. I know it. We all want that somebody. We all want that some person, like that best friend, that person that you can hanky-panky, do all the things with. But
hanky-panky? What lingo do you have? What?
I mean, you've never heard of the hanky-panky?
I've heard of it, but I haven't heard anyone your age say it. Like someone like my mama would say, the hanky-panky.
Listen, I'm Benjamin Button. I was born 99 years old.
Lord.
Okay. No, but be patient and be open, but not too open, because it's something where you have to be open to give yourself to someone. Granted, excuse me, you do not need to be an open book where you come and all the letters are just flying off and be like, here's this, that. But I definitely think starting out, you need to, like you were saying earlier, is like you kind of want to know those red flags of like, or what red flags you have, but you learn that too, I feel like, with everyone you date, but also, or you dated, should I say, like to get you to the point of those red flags no longer, like I picked my person that doesn't have these.
Yeah, so like don't ignore the red flags.
Do not ignore the red flags. Like if the red flag is screaming and waving, bitch, don't ignore it.
Okay.
Go the other way. That's what I would say. Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. Is another question?
I mean,
because I am a pro. I'm Dr. Phil.
I mean, like, spill the tea. Spill it. Do I need to get my pen and paper out?
Yes, please, actually.
What did Ari say? Ari was like, when you go on first dates, you should ask, like,
their safe word.
Safe word.
Yeah. Their social security number.
What's your safe word? How could, like, I'm going to say, hey, Brandon. Da-da-da-da. So what is your safe word?
See, love, I will absolutely do that. What's my safe word? Is that what you're asking?
I don't want to know your safe word.
Oh, okay, no, because I don't have one, but I need to get one.
Ooh.
I know.
Oh, y'all be
I'm
like,
you could do it. No, I'm just kidding. I cannot believe I just rose my leg.
I'm surprised you can lift your leg that high.
Oh, yeah, I do yoga and I stretch all the time.
Okay.
Baby, how do you know, or how do you think I kept my man for this long?
Oh.
Okay. A mess, Allegra. You're getting me heated over here. I'm getting hot.
Brian, he's ready for you tonight.
You just used his legal name. Government legal name.
I didn't say his last. There's so many boys out here named Brian. Oh my gosh.
It's so easy if you just go on our social media.
They can be like, that's who we with.
Yeah, that's
zoom in.
That's who we with.
Get it.
But no, and then another piece of advice, just real quick before we end this episode. Ask them how many commas they got in their account. Because, baby, if they ain't got no commas, you know it ain't lasting long.
Yeah, because I've been working forever.
Ever.
And I'm trying to...
quit it.
Absolutely.
You're trying to hit it and quit it. Oh, and not quit it like that, but I mean quit the job. Hit the man, quit the job. Shit, I'm saying a lot of things. Not hit the man, but you know what I'm
saying. People out here who are single like myself, they feel you. If it was meant for you to receive it, you received it. If not, just keep it.
Just keep on going.
Keep it going. Keep it going. All right. So,
oh, my God. Okay, real quick, before we end this episode.
Absolutely.
Do you want to give the people a little teaser of what they can expect from season 2?
I'm excited for season 2.
Me
I
too.
feel like, you know how you see, like, I said this to you off camera, when episode, like, you see a new season coming back of an episode, and they're like, oh, shit done changed.
Yeah.
And you're like, exactly. So, new studio.
Yeah.
But I'm also looking for our new segment called Join Us for Tea.
Yeah.
And we are inviting our guests or our viewers to sit on the couch with us, have a good conversation, because everyone has a story to tell.
Yes.
And I need to know everything.
We need to have all the tea.
I want all the tea from you.
All of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a sneak peek of season 2.
That is a sneak peek.
Sneak peek. Okay, so we can't give any more away.
No.
But we will say the next coming weeks we will have more information. Also, Allegra.
Yes.
We're taking our podcast to the streets as well this summer.
Yes. So it's called Milk, Eggs, and Teas on the Teas.
Try that one more
Milk,
time.
egg, and tea on the streets.
On the streets.
So don't get it twisted. If we come up to you and be like, hey, sir, what's your, are you single?
How many comments you got in the bank account?
Yeah. What's your toxic traits?
What are those red flags you got?
Like, we want something fun and engaging, and we want to explore all parts of Nashville, not just Broadway.
Yes, all parts.
I mean, if I can avoid Broadway.
Oh my God. And we will. That's okay. We don't have to go to Broadway. There's so many parts of Nashville.
There's so many young folks down there. And I just can't
so many. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for a wonderful season.
Yes.
A wonderful time on Milk, Eggs, and Tea this season. And we cannot wait to bring you more. So stay tuned. And thank you for watching our episode of Milk,
Eggs,
and a whole lot of
We made it.
tea. We made it, y'all.
We'll
see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God.
That was good.